I check all that category, and it's sad, but I can move forward. I can be committed to learning and educating myself more. I don't see how people cannot be just even a little bit curious with everything that's happening, with everything that's going on, with they're seeing all of these horrific acts that are occurring against Black people, and not just Black people, against the Hispanic community, against Natives, against every, like, BIPOC is, with everything that's going on, how can you not get just a little bit curious and just check yourself? Before this started to really hype up in the media, and that's terrible verbiage. Before the incident with George Floyd, I had questions in my brain. I don't feel like I benefit or use white privilege, but I recognize that I am white, that I live in a very white community, and that I've always lived in a very white community, and I don't have a lot of diversity experience. So I'm sure there are some, but I can't see it. So we had that conversation. So even before that, there's that little bit of a question that maybe there's something else that I should be looking at. I did not know that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg, that there is like, oh yes, you're right. Yes, there is a lot more you need to learn. So when I understand not seeing things, but to be so to choose to be so blind to it that you're not even willing to kind of look is where I kind of struggle with that. I'm like, there's something. Is it that you don't want to? Because it's hard to find out that, oh my gosh, I have racist behaviors.
I don't think they do know that there is something
You don't think that there's even a little inkling?
So can I jump in?
Devin, hold on a minute. I'm teasing. Go ahead.
No, but just some additional insight with that. Like, with the nation that we live in, whiteness is the standard for all the things. And so if you find that you fit in the basket of whiteness, you are suddenly normal. And the rest is other. Mm-hmm. So it just goes back to the little things like when you think about U.S. history, you are going to be thinking about a bunch of powerful white men. And yet we need to add the little caveat of Black history in order to talk about the Black heroes and the events for Black people in U.S. history, because you need to say Black, because history is white history. You need to say Black history in order for people to understand what you're saying. You need to say women's history if people are to understand what you're saying, because history is white history in the United States.
You're correct.
And so when a person, what I think is when a person is raised, to fit all of the different measurements of whiteness and is therefore normal, measured by whiteness, it's really easy to not want to do that type of introspection or to be curious. Because according to the yardstick that you're measuring your life by, you're doing it all normally. It's not okay, and it's not right, but it's really easy to gloss over the work that a person needs to do or should do or whatever we want to say. It's easy for me to do that if I can justify that my life is normal.